Welcome to Biomutant. Hey, nice shot. Right in the face. That's a good find. You feel like you've figured it out. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Sharp. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Now that's a flesh wound. Chop, chop. Cut down. The deep cut. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Sure useful.
Fare come mako tu fare ti taba. I kobe. I fare kobo farmu.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure...
Dai mistica ma perna.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Yallawa what now?
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Cantita duela bokobwa yake.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin.
Yallawa what now?
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an...
Mpa, wherefore, wewe, mauketo, tolu, ayadre.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had...
Fabobe, muk kofar.
How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village.
Papa mofobak, ewe boboye.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the...
Yatu yao mawa yuba dulu waiwai.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. But he's grateful you have.
Yatu yao mawa balu dulu.
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other.
Atu awa ya e oloi bobo paweg.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Mooma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But Today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Mooma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the...
Yeah, move forbo. Boom.
He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow.
Atu awa ya bubuko von vun.
He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't
Loma toaha. Yeah, move forbo. Boom.
the genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of date, the road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have... Regardless, you'll meet... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look! A survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves. He worries there won't be much left to... He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a the Myriad. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Biomutant.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Loma Tuaha, Iatu Yao Mawa.
He believes the tribe Sifu
Atu Wama Ugambun Lotu Lupa.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor. It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Doesn't know if the Sifu will have time for you, but he'll let you in to find out.
Sibi? La fanen agin kan man. Geraten na fala hutut mus. Tugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took Out of Date's side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next. And that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't... Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons, the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite. He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with the Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination, a vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with your. They passed the point of no return as their words lost. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you. The will. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Past. Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both. Says you. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Says you should take. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. swoon. That hurt him. Cutting edge. Half-lifed. Hack and slash. Nothing gets to you. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special. As time passes, memories fade. And sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He's happy his good mood is infectious. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? At least, but you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely... You should know. Practice makes perfect. As long as it... She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. Being nice comes easy for him. That doesn't make it less important. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy to hear that from someone that's a part of the company. You should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long to find some. He wonders what usefulness you found. He can work wonders with almost anything and ask...
pigs.
You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon.
Pigs.
He's looking forward to seeing. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village. Then you've got a good excuse. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says there's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She says the most important thing. It's time to focus on your training now. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He heard you helped Gizmo clean up. He's proud of you. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He wishes that was true for your Moomer too, but guiding... He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabric. He's curious to see what you found. He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He
Ishku. Khalif of Cairo.
The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you.
Giravabasco.
Agrees. At least that way it'll never go out of style.
Giravabasco.
You should take it with you. Wear it to practice.
Lema Ishkayamako. Shakuhu.
He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It seems you have a talent for this. Your Muma says it's about time you got here. What? She says she is eager to get started. But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back. Wants you to... Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you. Thanks. Been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz. You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. Says he's always thought so well of you, just like her. Catchy. Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful. She's a piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a... It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see. You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you. Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day. She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says this is it. The time has come.
Taifananuma, masan mal.
There's nowhere to run to.
Amun. Taifananuma, gam asadutu.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has... Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. You gave them no... They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks. A group of myriad crew... You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Do you feel safer or more exposed in the dark? Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? That notice board, filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one. The Toxanol Corporation made this. Toxanol never cared about the waste, as long as they didn't have to pay to clean it. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just... How far does this underplace go on? Handy. Beats hunting down scrap. Should have gone for a bigger size.